I'm Karen Gillmore, and I'm doing a show called From the Air. This is Xchanges Gallery that we're at here, and this is a kind of a new thing for me. I'm usually a painter, but I also take a lot of photographs that I like to use for painting reference. And so I was taking a lot of plane flights a couple of years ago, going back and forth to visit my husband's family in Burlington. And I really liked the things that I was seeing from the air, all the patterns and things, and I took my camera out and I just started taking these pictures from commercial airlines. And I've always enjoyed pictures that were taken like from small planes up in the Arctic and things like that, but I'm not a pilot and I can't afford a small plane, so I thought, well, as long as I'm on this flight, I'm going to get some art reference. And I was going to do some paintings from these, but I wanted them to be more colorful. The actual pictures are kind of gray and boring, and they just needed something. So I popped them into the computer and I started messing around with the histograms, which is the color balances and things, and just sort of did some things that the program really wasn't supposed to do. And it was in iPhoto, actually. And I started coming up with some things that I really liked. And as I did more and more of them, I got better at what I was doing, and I was able to aim for certain effects instead of just kind of messing around and getting things. And so I came up with a whole series of these things that I really liked, and I was thinking, I'll make paintings from these, and I'll have them printed out, and I'll use them for reference, and I'll do all these paintings. And then I looked at them and I said, wait a minute, like they're already perfectly good images, and why should I go to the trouble of painting them when they're perfect? So I said, well, I've got enough to do a show, and I applied to do a show here at Xchanges, and people liked it, and here I am. So the pieces have a lot of really bright colors because I like really bright colors. There's a few of them that I've kind of used a sepia effect as well, because the images lent themselves more to those sorts of colors. But the theme that kind of emerged from this was the patterns that we make on the Earth, and I think that's what fascinates me the most about being up in the air and flying over cities and mountains and fields and things, is that there's almost no place in North America, that at least that I flew over, that is untouched by humans. That even in the middle of the mountains, I could always see like a little tiny road snaking along or something. There's just no place that we haven't made our mark. And so I was looking upon this as kind of, wow, like this is the hugest environmental installation that's ever been made. So I took pictures of it. It's also sort of an exercise in finding a neutral way of looking at these things, rather than either saying, oh, progress, or being judgmental and saying, oh, that's horrible that we've done this. You know, it's more taking it out of either way and just looking at it as forms, just as art. And so that's what I wanted to do. Some of these are unrecognizable as being what they were originally. Some of them you can tell they're suburbs or rivers or something. But I wanted to get most of them into sort of an in-between state, so that if you looked at them long enough, you could see what they were, but that they didn't immediately have to be that thing. When I've done abstract paintings, one of the things that amuses me a lot is the shapes that people find in things, and they say, "Oh, I see a bird in there." It's like the next person will come along and say, "Oh, it's a building." And I had them done. Talking about the materials a little bit, I had them done as giclées. I got them done at Opus, and they took a lot of time with me going over the things, because this was a really new new experience for me, and I'm not that computer savvy. So they came up with these lovely prints with this velvety surface, which I was not expecting. I was kind of expecting something a little more hard surfaced, and so I decided to mount them on these boards. And it was nice because I had a little bit of a hands-on feeling with it, rather than just ordering a bunch of prints, you know, stretched on canvas or something like that, and just sticking them on the wall. They actually went through my hands, and that feels better to me. So, and let's see what else. Oh, and the titles are all haikus. So that's, I guess, about it.